good morning. A little impromptu live for you today. I wanted to talk a little bit about consent and social proof because something happened to me yesterday and it just sparked something. So I wanted to share a few thoughts with you and to hear your thoughts as well. Now, when it comes to ethical marketing, we have to remember there's always going to be layers. There's always going to be nuance. No one is perfect. I'm not here to call anyone out or to shame anyone. That is not what I'm about. It's more about drawing attention to something and acknowledging it and just taking notice, because that is so important in business, just being aware and having more awareness, right? So especially in the online world, because things get so messy and muddy, it's easy for things to kind of like become this gray area, and everybody's going to have different opinions. They're going to have different takes on it, and that's fine. Like, that's, your prerogative. But I'm getting ahead of myself because I wanted to first share this little story and what prompted it. So yesterday I opened up Gmail and I saw an email from somebody that I've been following recently and learning from and interacting with. And I click on it and I start reading their email, and I get kind of towards the end. I've been like skimming it a little bit. I know that they're in the middle of a launch right now. And I get towards the end, and then I see these screenshots, and lo and behold, one of the screenshots is a clip of something that I've written to them. And I had to stop and think for a minute because I was pretty sure I'd sent this in a direct message, in like a private message, right? And so I did check, and it was via a DM. And if it had been a comment on a post that they had posted, that's kind of fair game. I think we can all agree that if you post on somebody's content publicly, like, that becomes public. But in the DMs, that's a private conversation between you and that person and Zuckerberg, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, there's this expectation, right, that what you say to them in the DMs is like between you and them. It was like what I wrote was actually about them and about their work, and I was, complimenting them. And so I can totally see why this person wanted to use, that screenshot and put it in their marketing email. Like, it was a great, bit of social proof. I get it. However, it would have been really considerate of them to just quickly message me and say, hey, I really appreciate what you said. Can I use this in an email? And I would have said yes. I would have absolutely said yes. Now, I get why you might, or that person might have been in a hurry. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. They may not have wanted to wait for my response, or they may not have even really realized that it was from a DM, because I think, we all kind of, well, I know I do. I screenshot lovely things people say to me for my own, moral support, but also, if I do want to use anything down the road for marketing, I have them all in a folder, right? And it's easy. I can see how it would be easy to lose that bit of context. So, you might have thought that it was made in a comment, which was public, but it was actually a DM. Anyway, my point is, it's always worth checking in. It's always worth taking that extra little bit of time, because when we do that, we're showing our audience, we're showing our community that we respect them and that we care about, what they have to say, and we're respecting their words. And so I just wanted to draw attention to that and to say that, yeah, it can be tricky. And a lot of my clients have asked me, if I've been writing a sales page for them, especially if it's a new service or a new course, how can I add in some social proof here, because I don't have any testimonials yet for this particular thing that I'm offering. And what I always say is, it's fine to pull from past courses or past past testimonials, but just I would take the extra time to check in with your clients who have written those testimonials for you and just say, hey, I'm launching this new thing. I don't have any testimonials for this yet. I'd love to include these words you wrote about this. Even though it's not about this, I think it would fit really well for this, and just to add that extra layer of, understanding and consideration. And also, I mean, you can take this, you can argue that you could take it too far or that it could get like kind of just ridiculous, but I don't know. I think it doesn't take that much time really when you think about it, and I think it does make all the difference when you are dealing with people in your community, because you just want to show them that you have that mutual respect and consideration in mind. And you can even say, like, as a footnote on your sales page, these testimonials were actually in relation to X, Y, and Z, as this is a brand new offering, but here are some words about my previous work. So, just providing that extra context, because you don't want to mislead people. And then also, private messages, like, use them, but always ask before you send out that email or send out that post or whatever it is. And like I said, nobody's perfect, and I'm pretty sure that this person didn't intend in any way to be, sneaky or anything like that. It's so easy to overlook things, and it's so easy to kind of like just be in a hurry and to not be, just to forget, or whatever. But I will say that when I saw that on the email, it did make me feel a little like, ooh. So just some food for thought, and I would love to hear what you think, and I'm happy to talk more about this in the comments. Or if you'd rather have a private conversation, feel free to DM me. All right, big love. Thanks for listening.